Okay, so I started by removing the screws right on the back of the television, the lower center, that basically hold the TV onto the stand. They screw into those two support posts there, and so that's the first thing I did. Next I removed all the screws around the panel that has all your ports and connections. There are a total of 6 screws, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, and then another 2 on the side right here. And I'm just keeping a tray over here where I'm arranging my screws roughly how they appear on the back, so that when I put them back, they're all in the right place. So next I removed all the outside screws, just starting from one corner and making my way around. The screws at the top are a little bit different than the screws around the sides, so these 2 screws right there, make sure you don't get those confused with the other screws. And so that's basically that. So I'm just finishing up removing these screws along the bottom. So there's another couple screws right here where the buttons for channel and volume and input and menu and so far are. So I'm going to remove those 2 screws there. And again, notice that those 2 screws have little washers attached to them, and they're different than a lot of the screws that go around the sides, so make sure you don't get those screws mixed up. So again, just to make sure I'm not getting all my screws mixed up, I'm sort of laying them out as they are arranged on the television. So those 2 screws I just removed, those are the 2 side screws that I removed earlier, and then these are the 2 screws that connect where the buttons for volume and channel so far. And notice that I'm placing there so I don't get them confused, along with these, which were the screws that connected here. So just a good way to make sure that you keep your screws all in order. And then lastly, it appears that there are sort of 4 large-headed screws that form a square in the middle of the back of the television. So that's these screws here. So I'm going to remove those 4 screws. And at that point, hopefully I can remove the entire back panel. So these little plastic screws here, all they are is actually just little fillers to fill the hole where a wall mount would attach. So they do attach to the back panel, but they don't attach to anything inside the television. But you do need to remove them. Okay, so to remove the back panel, the back panel kind of slips inside of this plastic lid. Let's focus on that. And kind of have to pop it out. Over here it's easy if you just kind of lift up here, you can get it to pop out over that plastic lip there. Also be careful because these under edges are actually pretty sharp. I just cut my finger on it, so be careful with that. Alright, well once you get those little plastic screws out of the middle, the whole thing kind of pops up pretty easily once you get it out of that bottom lip. And in fact I just lifted it up and leaned it against the back of my couch here, so I didn't even fully take it off. But there you have it. There's the inside of your television. Also, for those of you that are interested in taking a closer look at the inside of the TCP50G10 Panasonic VIERA, we'll just take you on a quick tour around. I don't actually know too much about all the parts, but some of you may be interested in seeing what's in there. And so I'll take you on a quick tour around. We'll start at the center. So for those of you that know what all this is, there you go. And we'll just work our way up to the top. There are some cooling fans, I imagine, and you can notice actually dust gathers on the inside of there. So before I close this up, I'm going to clean that up. And as we come around to the side here, see a series of connections that run vertically along the side, and all those connect to a board here. I feel like I'm filming Tron or something. There's some heat sinks, I imagine, and here's where your volume and channel, menu, and input control buttons connect up. As we run along the bottom, we can see the built-in speakers and a series of connections that run horizontally. I'm guessing one of these is responsible for the infamous black stripe problem that I'm having. And that's where the power connects, and I learned that these two screws right there disconnect that guy, and I didn't need to disconnect that, so I reconnected it. And there's the other speaker, and of course this is where all your inputs and outputs connect, and they all, I imagine, run from there to these boards. Again, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I imagine some of you do. And of course, more connections running along the side, and there's another board there. So there you have it. So hopefully that will be useful to some of you, and that is the little town of circuitry inside the Panasonic VIERA TCP 50G10.